With a slew of executive orders coming from Donald Trump and his administration over the last week or so, one of them is a draft on increasing military spending. The Hill reports, quote, Donald Trump is weighing a draft executive order, meaning it's a draft of the actual executive order he's going to sign. It's just a draft copy. A draft executive order that would significantly strengthen the military and its capabilities, according to a new report released by his administration or leaked by someone in the media. I don't really know what the new report says, but he's thinking, I want to make that very clear real quick, he's thinking about increasing our military spending. Okay, so we need to put this in context. I'm going to put up a few pictures on the screen. You look at them. All right, here we go. That first one is discretionary spending in 2015. And if you look very carefully, over 50% of it was towards the military. I think the number 685 billion goes directly towards the military. Over 50% of our discretionary spending goes to the military. This next picture, we spend more than the next 8 or 10 countries combined. You're looking at the United States spending on its military and then the next 11 or 12 countries. We spend more than the next 8 or 10, and most of them are our allies. Most of them would help us in the case of a war that would break out. They'd be on our side. Obama dropped 26,000 bombs in 2016. You want to use more money for war? For the military? We're in 7 countries. We're in 7 different countries. We're in Iraq, we're in Syria, we're in Afghanistan, we're in Pakistan, we're in Yemen, we're in Somalia, and we're in Libya. How many countries do you want to invade? Some of those, by the way, are just drone strikes. Like, I think Yemen and Somalia and Libya are just drone strikes. Others are boots on the ground, and some are still like all-out war. How many countries do you want to invade? I'll be here all day. Let me know. We're in 7. You want to go to 8, 12, 23, 62? How many countries do you want to invade? We already know we're going to 8 sometime soon because of Iran and the appointments Trump picked for his cabinet. So Iran's off the table. So let's say we're in 8 countries now. You want to go to 10, 15, 27? How many countries? Give me a number. Let's discuss it. Let's give it to the American people. Do you think they want to be in more countries? Do you even think they know we're in 7? I doubt it. You tell them we're in 7 countries, they go, what? And then they want to pull out of some of those countries. So you're telling me you want to be against the American people and go into more countries and spend more money on the military? And then again, they look at you and go, you can't use it for infrastructure or education or healthcare or clean water for Flint. Are you kidding me? I need to bomb more brown people in the Middle East who are living in caves, who are halfway across the world. I care more about them than I do about the people in Flint, or people who are going to get kicked off their health insurance because Republicans are going to repeal the health insurance law and give no replacement. And they say they're for you. They say they're for the middle class. God. Okay. Now, I want to make this clear. After all of those things I just laid out, after all those graphs and studies and data, a hypothetical. What happens if we just pull out? We've done it before. The area isn't going to be stabilized from us there or from us not being there. We spend billions for 800 military bases around the world. Why? Why do we need 800? You want to be the world policeman? You want to be an imperialist country? American exceptionalism? Everything we do is right, no matter what, no questions asked, because we're America? Okay, look, that's wrong. But just think, would the world be any different if we pulled out of a few of those countries, or even all of those countries, I would argue? Would the world be significantly different if we maybe dropped 20,000 bombs instead of 26,000 bombs? If we instead of using 55% of the discretionary spending on the military, maybe we went down to 45%. Would the world be any different if we cut back even just the tiniest fraction? And then the hypothetical, if we just not cut it all, obviously, or if we just pulled out of every country. would the world be different? I am a believer of no, the world wouldn't be that different. The Sunnis and the Shias would then go after each other instead of radical Sunnis and radical Shias going after us, and then the Sunni and the Shias fighting the radical ones. Then you have the Kurds and the Sufi Muslims who are trying to go after. You have the Kurds in Syria, you have the Kurds, you have the Sufis, you have the another group, the Kunds Muslims who are fighting in Syria with the Kurds, but Turkey's going after the Kurds, and the Syrian government's going after the rebels, and the rebels are going after the Kurds. It's a big mess. If we just pulled out of Syria and Iraq, if we just pulled out of 3 or 4 of those countries, would the world be any different? And could we use that money for something else that helps us, that helps the American people first? That's my question to you guys. Would the world be any different if we did what I'm saying we should do? I don't know, because we won't do it. We're going to increase military spending, and we're going to go to war with Iran. So instead of going to my end, we're going to go to the other end. And I think in the wrong direction. What if we overthrow the government of Iran? It's going to be Iraq all over again. We're going to send our guys into war. We're going to add $1 trillion into the debt. That's how much Iraq will cost. $7 trillion, and by the time it's like 2040, 2050, $7 trillion to the debt because of the money for the soldiers, the money for the weapons and tanks, and the healthcare after, and just all expenses. $7 trillion by the time it's like 2050. You want to go to war with Iran? It's ridiculous, it's stupid, and it's completely idiotic and not good for the country. So just think about that, and think about this, and think about how he doesn't have your best interest at heart.